Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 65 of Cute Little Love Letters, and this one is titled Fun in the Sun. You stood there in the dark, almost feeling like this was all some kind of dream and hadn't really happened, but the wind gently swirling around you, coupled with the sound of the ocean to your left, were reminders that you were indeed there, present in the moment, and that really had all happened. Slowly you turned and headed back to the house, noticing that the blue haze was slowly wafting out of the house and rising up into the sky, and with it you heard some of the girls stirring as you climbed the stairs back to the second level. What was that? Was it a sleep potion from Saria to make everyone sleep so that we wouldn't be interrupted? You thought, as you got back onto the deck and walked to the back door. Yin, Kendo said groggily as she raised her head. Are you not in bed yet? What time is it? Oh, it's not too late, you replied softly, trying to avoid waking the others, even though a few had lifted their heavy heads to look at you through dim, tired eyes. Sorry to have woken you. Please go back to sleep. Okay, Kendo said, and face planted back into her pillow before passing out again. You smiled and walked silently past her to the bathroom to change into your sleeping gear, which had been provided by Momo, a lovely silk set of crop top and shorts, and then snuck out and over to the futon beside Kendo's and got into bed, snuggling down in between the sheets before passing out yourself. It was the sun's bright rays that woke you the next morning, and you rolled and stretched, accidentally bumping into Kendo, who was laying on top of her sheets and half onto your bed. Oh, you said softly when your arm bumped her head. She half groaned. Sorry, why are you on my bed? You then asked, sitting up a little to see how she was laying. Why is your bed more comfy than mine? She mumbled, rolling all the way onto your bed and sandwiching you down under her. Oof, you huffed as her whole weight landed on you. Suika, you chuckled. There's a bug in my bed, Kendo joked, still half trying to wake up. Beach! Mina suddenly screeched, and most of the girls raised their sleepy heads with fright. Mina, you're being too loud, Momo said in a raspy voice. Beach! I can't wait! We should go to the beach right now! Everyone get the swimmers on! She yelled, jumping out of bed and falling over everyone. Can I die instead? Jiro groaned, letting out another yelp when Mina grabbed her by the arm and yanked her up to standing. No, we gotta go and have fun, she said brightly. Last one to the beach has to kiss Minetta! All of a sudden, there was a flurry of activity from the girls of Class 1A, leaving the Class 1B girls mildly confused as they watched the girls race around, grabbing swimmers and towels and running to various corners of the room to change. What on earth? Kendo asked, looking at you to see if you had an explanation. Oh, Minetta is the creepy guy of Class 1A, I assume. I've heard talk of him and have met him, but I don't really remember anything. It might be the equivalent of having to sit next to Monoma on the bus and listen to him rant about Class 1A, you mused. Oh, hell no, Kendo yelped. I'm not going to be last. You giggled and jumped up. I'm going to beat you in changing, you threatened. No, don't, she shrieked playfully, dashing to the bathroom to grab her swimmers. It was in a very short space of time that you and the girls were changed and running down the stairs to get to the sand, and then there was a mad sprint of the girls running for the waterline. The sudden shrieking and thundering of footsteps overhead had woken the boys below, and they'd looked up to see what was going on. The girls are very lively this morning, Kiri said to Tetsutetsu, who had slept next to him. Yeah, he replied. I wonder why. And then, when the boys had heard the girls running down the stairs and had seen them in their swimmers heading for the beach, they too jumped up and got ready quickly to join them. Yin! Denki shouted as he ran with the now ready boys down onto the sand. Hi, Denki! You called as you turned and took a few steps back towards him. He raced over to you and put his arms out, so you put your arms out too and let him grab you around your waist and spin you around, the two of you giggling and chuckling as you enjoyed your morning embrace. Did you sleep well? He asked you. Yes, You paused, remembering that you had had a very special visitor last night before you slept. Yeah, I had a very good sleep. And you? I slept like a log, Denki grinned. I was so tired. I'm glad you slept well, you replied with a smile. Did you want to go into the water? But before Denki could reply, Kendo, Mina and Komori shouted at you from where the volleyball nets were being set up by Ida and Karishma. Hey Yin! 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 They all called. Come and verse us with the boys, Kendo shouted. We need one more girl and one more boy. You two in? You looked at Denki and he looked at you. Yes, you nodded. Let's go. I bet I can beat you. Oh, really? He asked with surprise and then smirked. Okay, loser has to kiss the winner on the lips. You weren't expecting him to say something so brazen and covered your mouth with a little shock but recovered quickly. Okay then, get ready to kiss me, he replied cheekily. Oh, you're so cute, Denki replied, taking a running step to chase you as you turned and ran towards the girls at the nets. It was you, Mina, Kendo and Komori versus Denki, Tetsutetsu, Kirishima and Ida, and so far it seemed to be a fairly even match. You and Komori were not as good as the other two girls, but Denki and Ida weren't as good as the two fiery hard boys in the middle, so it was working out okay. With lots of panting and laughing and clapping and screaming, you girls did only just manage to win, only because both Kiri and Tetsu went for the ball at the same time and ran into each other. If that hadn't happened, they would have won for sure. Good game, Kendo said as she put her hand out under the nets for a handshake to Kirishima, but Tetsutetsu quickly pushed in and shook it first. Thank you, he said brightly. And thank you for the opportunity to play against you, he added. You're very good. Oh, I'm not that good, she replied humbly, still shaking his hand. Oh, you're being too modest. You're very good. You're the best I've ever seen, he praised, and you raised an eyebrow curiously, watching their interaction. Okay, Kendo half chuckled, and finally managed to retrieve her hand, otherwise he would have wanted to shake it all day. Everyone, Momo suddenly called. Breakfast is ready, let's head to the hall. And everyone eagerly got up and started to head back up the beach and towards the hall for a good morning feed. Denki and the boys were all talking excitedly about something, so he slid over to Kendo and walked with her instead. Tetsu seemed very interested in your skills and that handshake, you teased lightly. He's been really close this weekend, Kendo replied. I kinda like it, but I'm just not used to the attention. It's nice, isn't it? You replied knowingly. Yeah, it kinda is, she replied with a little smile. Hey, Komori said as she bounced up beside both of you, her short bob bouncing slightly as she moved. Kendo, does Tetsu like you? Oh, he's making it so obvious, Kendo sighed. Oh, he does? Komori gushed. Do you like him? Yeah, I do, Kendo replied bashfully, and Komori squealed. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to drop little mushrooms everywhere, Komori gushed. Rhodotus palmaris comes to mind, you replied to her. Wrinkled peach mushroom? Oh, that's such a cute one. Yes, I want to drop them everywhere, she squealed, and you giggled with her. You two are definitely sisters in a past life or something, Kendo mused. You smiled and then looked ahead, Kendo on your right and Komori on your left, with all of your other friends and classmates around you, with your boyfriend behind you. I really love it here. I love my classmates, my friends. I love my boyfriend, you thought, looking over your shoulder to see where he was and noticing that he was looking straight at you. You smiled when you saw him looking and he winked at you, making your heart flutter as you entered the hall. And now she's just got to collect her winner's kiss. Stay tuned for chapter 66 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.